A recent survey by the Ateneo School of Government reveals young Filipinos are likely to fall for misleading or false information. Tonight, we talk about fighting disinformation with Imelda Deinla from BOSES Pilipinas, joining us from Canberra. Thank you so much for joining us, Imelda. Tell us, are Filipinos generally suspicious or gullible when they come across fake news?
Based on our survey of over 7,000 and 24,000 respondents, we found that many of our Filipino youths who are of voting age are actually susceptible, highly susceptible to fake news, and they cannot even distinguish between real news from fake news and vice versa.
And usually this kind of age group and demographics, Imelda, believe whatever they read on social media and will share to friends.
Yes, they are supposed to be more adept at detecting fake news, but unfortunately, our fake news quiz says otherwise. And we correlate that to different factors like their higher trust in Facebook and social media, lower trust in mainstream media, but also we found existing or widening political polarization that actually lowers their capacity or impairs their capacity to distinguish fake news or real news.
But share with us, especially for our viewers watching us right now, how can we spot misinformation? How can we find or spot that fake news?
Normally, and that is based on our study, we use code cards, and normally most of these fake news are imitating or mimicking real news or news from media outlets. So they basically tweak, manipulate the code cards that are released by mainstream media, and they use it to serve their own purpose. They use, of course, angry language, or language that provokes emotion. And that is really quite powerful. In fact, in the same study, we actually found that prolonged exposure to fake news also lowers their capacity to detect fake news. So, you know, the longer you are exposed to fake news, then it becomes quite normal for people to see news and to treat it as real news, even though these are fake news.
So, Imelda, how can social media giants like Facebook do better in fighting this kind of disinformation?
I think really it's high time that, because we know that fake news, troll factories, they are becoming more sophisticated as well. So I think it is the responsibility of social media like Facebook, YouTube, to really come up with strategies on how to combat fake news and how to detect fake news. Now, these troll factories or disinformation networks actually use very ingenious ways. Like they now use micro bloggers or micro trolls to actually propagate fake news, and these are very, very hard to detect. So we really need the help of social media companies to help us in combating fake news.
And at this point, because there's not only fake news here in the country, but all over the world, are we seeing these social media giants and these social media platforms doing their part in fighting fake news? Are they implementing stricter guidelines and pulling down these accounts who are disseminating fake news?
Well, they claim to have actually, undertaken measures to regulate posting of news online. But unfortunately, these are not enough. And we are seeing the continuing and proliferating misinformation and disinformation all over. And especially in these critical times during elections, really it's important for social media companies to assist the government, to assist the country in ensuring that we have a fake, that we eradicate, that we at least minimize the proliferation of fake news during election times.
All right, the campaign period starts in 3 months' time. The elections in 5 months. COMELEC has issued guidelines on online campaigns. Your thoughts on this, and do you think that this is enough?
We know that, of course, COMELEC, it's really very laudable for them to do that, to issue guidelines. But we know that it's not just the responsibility or the work of COMELEC to combat fake news. Of course, we expect as well, especially from the candidates, not to spread misinformation and disinformation. So it's, we're all in this together. And we know that fake news has become so ingenious and it's become so endemic that everyone has to be involved. And so that's why we in the academic institutions we have formed this consortium, these partnerships together with other universities to do our part in combating fake news.
Are you also having constant conversations, collaborations also with the social media networks and suggesting to them which groups or camps are likely to release this kind of fake news?
Right now, we are not doing that. But our survey study is being done in collaboration with other universities across the Philippines. But of course, we want to ramp up with our campaign, and we wanted to also look deeper into the sources of fake news, and maybe if we have more evidence, maybe we could come up with better strategies on how we can, call out authorities as well to this disinformation and misinformation.
Do you
networks.
already have evidence of which groups or camps are already releasing this misinformation?
We don't have right now, but that's part of the future study we're doing. So hopefully we should be able to come up with that study soon.
BOSES Pilipinas, Imelda Deinla, thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.